Hi, my name's Ros. I am a vet and I run Right Behaviour, where I help owners with dogs and cats with unwanted behaviours. And I thought I'd start doing a series of films because we are getting a puppy in a month's time, and I know this is a position which lots of people are finding themselves in at the moment. And those early few months are so important in helping dogs cope and live healthy, happy lives for all the years to come. And so I thought that maybe by having a kind of warts and all film for people to look at, looking at different issues, that it might be helpful. So we sadly lost our old 14-year-old dog called Nutmeg over the lockdown period, which has been really sad. And so what we had to do first was think about what puppy we'd want, what breed we'd want, and how it would fit into our home. And so today I thought I would look at some of those thought processes and all the pitfalls that there are in even choosing a breeder and a puppy and wanting to avoid puppy farms and things like that. And so when thinking about a breed, I think it's really important to think about your lifestyle, what kind of exercise you like to do, and how you want to manage your day-to-day life with the dog. Obviously they're all individuals, but you can have a look at different breed types and what they're going to really enjoy doing, how much energy they've got, and what the purpose of that breed was in the past. So those are all really important considerations. And also just thinking about whether actually, you know, beyond lockdown, whether you'll have the time for a dog, and really they shouldn't be left for extended periods, you know, having them at home on their own for 8 hours a day, even if you've got somebody popping in for an hour in the middle, probably isn't the best for the dog's welfare. So just making sure that long term you'll be able to look after them as you'd want. So I had a bit of a shock because having had Nutmeg for 14 years, we haven't looked for a puppy for a very long time. And so then we went on the internet, and it was really shocking about how quickly puppies would get snapped up, and you know, the pressure you're under to put a deposit down on a puppy, all those sorts of things. And so I just thought I'd give a few thoughts on what to look for and what to avoid maybe. I think even if you think, oh, I really like the look of this litter and the blurb about, you know, the breeder seems good, you want to double check that that these puppies are from a reputable source, and it isn't all just staged, because awfully a lot of puppies are imported into the dogs, all with puppies with very low standards of care, and then these people will bring them to a property and just pretend that they've been born into a nice family home and this is a family pet. And so it's really important that we don't support those sorts of practices, which are all obviously awful. And so even if you feel, right, I haven't got the time to go and see the puppy because they're all going to be snapped up, you could still ask for a Zoom call. And I think these days everyone's really aware of video calls and how useful they can be. And I found that quite helpful. So with a couple of litters, myself and my husband, we had a Zoom call with the breeder so we could see the dog and the puppies. And on a couple of occasions we thought, actually, we're not quite happy with how it looks. I think in a normal household, if you've got a mum and a litter of pups, you'd expect to have a bit of paraphernalia around. You'd expect the mother dog to have a good rapport with the person taking the film on the other end of the call. You expect it to come up and be friendly, looking relaxed. You also want to see the puppies feeding from mum. Mum would expect to look like she's got milk, so her mammary glands will be up. That would suggest that, you know, this isn't some sort of staged setup, and that all the puppies look like they're feeding and they're healthy. It's a nice clean environment, so I think that's a good place to start. And then obviously as soon as you can, you'd want to go and see the puppies for yourself and look for all those things again. You know, does this seem like a genuine home where these puppies are being brought up and reared? And also even those early few weeks, you know, before you get them, are really important in the puppies gaining confidence in day-to-day stimuli, such as, you know, just the washing machine, the vacuum cleaner, people coming in and out, banging pots and pans. You want the puppies to be reared in an environment which is very similar to the one that you're going to bring them into. You know, you want the puppies to be within the house, within the normal day-to-day comings and goings, rather than outside in a kennel outside. And also, is the setup reminiscent of yours? If you've got a young family with lots of people in and out, it isn't ideal maybe if the puppies were reared by, you know, an older couple in a very rural area where very few people come in and out, say they have a very quiet lifestyle. You want that to reflect yours. Equally, you don't really want to get a puppy from a working border collie on an active farm where they've got a strong working line. If your pet is going to be just a household companion for you and not to do that sort of work. And so really you want to choose a puppy from a home that best reflects what your life is going to be like, so that the puppy has the best start. You know, you want them to be getting used to all these things from the very get-go. So those are my first few thoughts really when considering getting a puppy and finding a breeder. I think the last thing to say would be there's a really useful resource called the Puppy Contract, and that is really good for sharing with the breeder so they can fill out all the details about the parents of your puppy and all the preventative care that they've had. Because it's so easy when you're so excited, you're meeting your puppy the first time, and you might forget all those questions that you had planned to ask, just go whoop, out your head. So the Puppy Contract is a really nice way of making sure you get all the information. And any breeder who is kind of reputable and really looking after the best interests of the puppy should be happy to do that for you. Lovely.